Look, my squishy, stretchy, and fierce. Dick bone chin. I let it harden.
This is Legacy Evolution Tarn. A pretty good figure. In fact, I'd say it's a great figure. This is what most people would consider as one of the best Transformers Hasbro's ever made. And probably the best Transformer already this year, period. Everyone said it. This thing lives up to the hype. It really is that good. Gotta be honest, though, I don't think it's quite that good. Though I can certainly see why some people would say that. Hell, I don't even think it's the best figure of the wave. That would be Core Class Sound Blaster. But you know what? There is a figure. One that is very similar to this. That I do think is as good as most people say that Tarn is. It's not this guy. Instead, it's this one.
Sucker.
Today we're going to be taking a look at Studio Series Rise of the Beast Scourge. And also Freezer, because I don't know why not. Usually I don't review toys that are new, but I thought, well, this would be a pretty good opportunity because they look pretty cool. And there are other Rise of the Beast figures I do want to cover, such as the Battle Masters as a fun video, but I couldn't find them. I found this guy instead. Couldn't find it on Amazon, couldn't find them on Hasbro Pulse, couldn't find them on Big Bad Toy Store. I couldn't even find them at my local grocery store. I don't know what the fuck's going wrong with me, but that's the situation that I'm in. So instead of taking a look at the silly little toys, I'm going to take a look at the big motherfucker himself. I guess we'll first talk about Freezer. It's just a less complicated design of Frenzy from the original movie, except he has 4 arms. He also has 4 eyes with his head sculpt. He kind of has this mouth of Sauron thing going on, though that could just be me. I do kind of like how he has the digitigrade legs and the 4 arms. Gives him a real General Grievous vibe, considering the fact that he looks like Dirge from Star Wars. Yeah, pretty cool. But I have to say that overall, I'm not the biggest fan of this figure. It feels a little bit fragile to me. Like, the joints that you'd wish would be tight, like his hips and his shoulders, those are very loose, at least on mine. But the joints that you want to be a little bit looser, like the elbows for transformation, they are fucking tight as hell. To the point where I've only had this figure for like 2 days, and they have broke on that joint and on that one. And I'm pretty sure that the other one are getting stressed out. And I already tightened these up with the Fixer Elixir, Dr. whatever his name is, Dr. Cream Brulee or something, whatever the fuck, D-Star. It didn't really help. I even added it a second time, and I had it wait for over 24 hours, but still, nothing. Now, this is probably just a me thing, because I haven't heard anyone else complain about this, and usually when I get core classes, they always have at least 1 or 2 joints that are way too loose, but yeah, it's just unfortunate. This guy feels like he could break. The major issue I have with the figure, even if he didn't have that, is his legs. If you're going to make a figure that has digitigrade legs, can you at least make sure that all of the parts can move? Like, this one can move in and out, but this can't move downwards at all. It's stuck at this really unhelpful position. I wish I could make his legs either a little bit more squat, but they look unnatural when they're like that, or taller. And, well, of course, he can't. In terms of articulation, otherwise, he's not too bad. He's got a ball joint at the top of the head and a hinge joint at the base of the neck, so he can look like that if you want. Ball joint at the shoulders, they are fucking loose as hell. And another ball joint right there. But yeah, I'm not going to move that. Yeah, it's a little bit more thick of a joint right there, but the funny thing is that these joints are so fucking tight that even after they're broken, they still are tight. Jesus Christ. So he also has a ball joint here, and if you want his legs to straighten up, you can reverse the joint if you want. I don't know why the hell you'd want to do that, but you can do it. And he's got a ball joint lower at the ankle. Now, in terms of transformation, it's pretty simple. There's only really one thing to do. You just flip this out. The gun folds down. You fold this over the head. Like that. There you go. Now he's got a gun for Ace, and there's... There's a couple of ways you could go about the legs. Sometimes they tell you to push them in like that. Sometimes they don't. I don't know why the fuck you would not want to do it. And there's like this weird tripod you can do where you twist this one around and you plug this in. I'm not going to do it because although that's his official alt mode, it's really annoying to plug in and it's just kind of dumb. So I'm just going to get them plugged in for the gun mode, the official target blaster mode or target master, whatever. You just plug this in, and it's kind of annoying to plug in if you don't have it lined up right. And once it's in, you kind of have to line it up with 2 ball joints to get into position. It's not hard or anything. It's just kind of tedious and annoying. Again, you see how tight that was, and it's a broken limb. That's just insane how tight this is. I'm actually convinced that the ball socket is smaller than the actual ball joint. That's just how I think it is. Fortunately, this step's actually pretty easy. You just plug it in right there. And, I mean, I guess that works. It kind of looks like it's permanently drooping down, but no, this is the highest that both joints go. This doesn't move up anymore, and this doesn't move up anymore. You can flip out this gun right there, and there you go. There's his gun mode. I feel like if you could hide his fists a little better, it would be better. But, you know, otherwise, it's just kind of a okay target master. We'll show this off later. It's a fine figure, but I don't think it's particularly that good. The details is really good. The paint application, all that's nice, but I don't know. I can't give them too much flack because these guys apparently aren't going to transform in the movie, so they're just like, you give them a gun mode. But yeah, otherwise, still. I mean, the entire Bumblebee cast didn't transform, but those all turned out to be pretty good, at least in their alt mode. I know people didn't like Soundwave, but I kind of like it because it looks like a snow speeder. But, you know, as for this guy, it's okay. Now, for the main course, Scourge here. Oh, man, this figure is fucking amazing. This thing actually blows me away. First off, the robot mode. The robot mode design is really good. It's not as accurate as it probably should, but I think this actually looks better than how it does in the movie. So I'm not going to complain. Like that head, it kind of has this feeling of Sauron. It doesn't have like the over-the-top eyes, and the mouth of Sauron kind of has that thing going on too. His neck's a little longer, so again, he looks like Dirge. He does have incredible light piping. I can't show it like that, can I? Okay, gonna move my light source. Gonna move my light source. Does this work? Does this work? Does this, you see it? You see it? It's shining. Okay, fine. That's the best I got. I wish I had a flashlight. But even without the light piping, it's still a really nice and cool looking head sculpt. You know what? Maybe I should actually move this up and zoom in so you can actually see that head sculpt. Yeah. Okay, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, just what I'm talking about. An absolutely fantastic head sculpt. It looks so goddamn cool. It does have some detailing when it comes to the mouth and the eyes, but it's so subtle. It's to the point where it's there, so you can't complain, oh, it's under-detailed, it's under-detailed. But again, I think it looks better when it's not like over the top, like you can see his mouth, you can see his eyes. I think this look, when it's not there, is a lot cooler. So yeah, he looks like both Dirge and Sauron. You know, I hear a lot of people accuse Transformers fans of not liking change just because they don't like the new Wheeljack, but this doesn't look like either Scourge. It doesn't look like how he did in G1. It doesn't look like how he does in RED when he's Nemesis Prime. It doesn't look like him when he's from Beast Hunters. And yet, I have not heard a single fucking person complain that, oh, this guy, he doesn't look like Scourge, it's a bad design. I haven't even heard anyone say that about Battle Trap. And that one would make sense, because he's a bland-looking motherfucker. He just turns into a truck. When he used to be, like, 2 vehicles that combined to 1. That was awesome. But nobody's complained about that. Maybe Transformers fans. It's not that Transformers fans don't like change, and more of just, they don't like fucking horrendous changes. You fucking weirdos. But yeah, overall, this design, absolutely sick. And they portray it in a really nice way. It's also got a lot of nice details. I really like his chest. It looks so just normal. It sounds weird, but it doesn't look like it plays into the vehicle mode. It just looks cool there for show. But let me tell you, oh no, this is a really cool chest because despite the fact that it doesn't look like it transforms, I mean, it sticks out a little bit, but the illusion's there. It looks like it's just the chest. Oh no. Oh, this changes so much during the engineering. We'll talk about the engineering. It's amazing. As far as his hands, he's got this sword thing. It's almost kind of like Thanos from Endgame. Not quite that level, and you can also fold it out. And it's kind of like attached to his arm, actually, so you can remove it and do that. And that's an okay look. I wish his hands articulated, but whatever. It's not a big of a deal. He also has these tentacles. Really selling the dirge vibes there. I wish they could spin, because they do actually remove or something, but they make it so, despite the fact that it's a circle slot, you know, they have something that makes it stick out, so it can't swivel. Unfortunate, but, you know, whatever. It's a really nice effect. And as far as extra weapons go, you can, like I said, remove this, and you get this weapon right here. And that just attaches inside. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong way. See? It's got like a circle, but it's also got like this little extra slot right there, so it only plugs in one way. Oh, wait, no, I had it on the wrong way. And it's a cool effect, but I don't like how stubby it looks. Like, I don't know. I feel like it should be like down to here instead of just up here. Especially when you compare with the actual arm. I mean, technically it is a little bit longer, but it's a kind of tiny looking gun. I just wish it was, you know, stuck out like maybe like right here. That would probably make it look a little better. I like this other hand better. Now, as far as this target master, if you have this knife or sword out of the way, you can plug this in. And this is probably Freezer's best use, although it does have some play in the vehicle mode, which I will show off. Although, unfortunately, it's kind of big and you can't really bend his elbow. It does look like it's a part of him because of how much of a mess it is. It just kind of looks like he's just got a giant gun growing out of his hand, but I don't know if that's a good thing. Kind of messy. Not really that great. I don't think you need this figure with Scourge. He looks cool enough on his own. As far as articulation goes, it's pretty good. He has a ball joint up here and at the base of the neck. And they can look, if you use both of them, since they're both on ball joints, you can look down like that. I think I might have popped the joint off. Yep, I did. And he actually looks up higher than he does down, which is interesting. If you want to move it down, just use the neck. Yeah, that's what I do. Shoulders rotate back and forth. They can go out at 2 angles, so it can be a little finicky to get them adjusted in the way that you want. And this also hinges out, so that could be a bit finicky, but it's not really that bad. He has a bicep swivel on this arm, though it is a bit on the tight side, and a bend. He has the fingers. I wish they had a little bit more articulation, like maybe bend here and here, or just one more joint. That would have been a lot better, but, you know, still not bad. On this arm, it's pretty much the same thing, but instead of having, I guess, the joints on the weird tentacle things, he can only open his claws out. You know, but considering the fact that he's a leader, that's pretty much a mandatory thing now. His waist does, in fact, swivel, which is cool. Legs go forward that far and back that far. They also go out all the way, which is nice. By swivel and a very nice soft ratchet for the knee, but it only goes to 90 degrees. But that feels so good. And for the feet, you can actually pop them forward for a steppy pose, and they do pivot. And when you take into account both the hip and ankle articulation, this is as far as it goes with both feet flat on the floor. Though I will say, because of the weird, you do have to lower the legs just a little bit for them to stay flat on the floor, but you know what? Otherwise, about as perfect as you can get. So overall, the articulation, it isn't, like, amazing, but it's serviceable. And overall, the robot mode is fantastic. The only problems that I have, other than the ones that I may or may not have pointed out already, is these smokestacks. They kind of fall out of place, and it's kind of annoying. I wish they clicked in a little bit. But also, he does have a little bit of a back kibble. I mean, it's not, like, ugly, but it is, I guess, a flaw. It's the one thing that stands him apart from what I'm about to compare him to at the end of this review. But yeah, it's a little bit noticeable. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Now this right here is one of my favorite parts. You actually pull the toes out and flip them down so that they plug into place. I mean, holy shit, that is fucking... Look at that! Look at that! Make sure this peg actually goes into the leg, like that. There is a peg hole right there, and you're going to want to peg this in like that. So now, this is inside the feet, and you can finally plug them in. I don't really like that step because it actually broke on me. See that little hinge right there? Yeah, that one snapped off like completely cleanly. First time I did it too. Probably just unlucky. That was a pretty wild transformation, but believe it or not, we're not even finished. Even this tiny little gun transforms. Oh, I wish I didn't clip my nails before recording this, says every Transformers reviewer ever. This actually swings around like that. It's quite confusing to get this orientation proper, but just know that these are the ones you're going to plug them in, and make sure that the hollow parts are facing the plugs, because it will go over like this. And it will be at a little bit of an angle, so just do that. There is a peg here that will plug in right here. Make sure you don't break that, see what I mean? And here we have the truck mode, and holy shit, what an incredible transformation! I mean, fuck! That was one of the coolest transformation experiences I've had ever! Did you see all this shit? You could barely tell where the truck was outside of the back kibble. But even then, you still have stuff like the shoulder blades making up the front of the truck, and the actual chest of the robot mode swinging over to form the girl. Dude, who comes up with this shit? I don't even know. It's insane. And as for the truck mode, well, it's no Optimus Prime, and it does have a bit of an ugly gap here, but it's incredible. It looks so cool. It's got that whole Mad Max thing going on. And that was really the only thing I was interested in when it came to Scrap Hook, because, well, I mean, what else was I going to appreciate about that figure? This one does it pretty well. I also like the colors of the dark grays and the blacks. The back of the truck mode is actually not too bad. I mean, you do have this, which looks a little bit weird, but it does fill it out nicely. And the feet! Holy crap, the feet! That transformation stuff was so goddamn cool. Why can't you do that? mean, even compared to other Studio Series stuff, like the Galvatron, cool looking figure, might get it, probably not, because I think it looks stupid. But even he couldn't really manage to transform the feet in an interesting way, and it just kind of looks like shit. But not here. That's just incredible. Now, granted, you do have a little bit of visible hand syndrome, but, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And also, if you flip underneath, you do have the head. Oh, well. When I first transformed this guy, it genuinely reminded me of a Unique Toys figure. Unique Toys! Now, it's not quite that good. It does have a little bit of a backpack in robot mode. It's got some visible stuff in vehicle mode. I mean, the fact that that even is what my mind went to when transforming this at all, god damn! Now, if you do want to integrate Freezer, fuck! So you're gonna have him look like this, and he's gonna use these pegs to plug in somewhere. I think it's this one, actually. Yeah, right there. And it's a little bit messy. He's just got these hands and feet on the back, and the gun, again, looks droopy and pathetic. But, I mean, it's a thing you can do. Yeah, sorry, Freezer sucks. Overall, though, what a cool-looking and fantastic vehicle mode. I almost like it as much as the robot mode and the bot mode. Transformation. And, like, did you see both of them? It's fucking cool! So in the end, man, Rise of the Beast Scourge. The Studio Series one, at least. I don't know if they're gonna make any more, but this one, fucking amazing. Badass and awesome robot mode, a phenomenal transformation, and a really, really clean and good alt mode. Honestly, if this is how Scourge was treated, no more swoops, no more nemesises, he just looked like this in every incarnation and felt like this in every incarnation, wouldn't even be mad. If you need a Rise of the Beast figure, and this is coming from a Beast Wars fan, this is the first one I recommend. Yeah, sure, he's a bit expensive, because leaders are a bit of a risky take. And for a leader, he's not humongous, so that could be a bit off-put if you're used to the big, chunky leaders and you only want to get those. In which case, I don't know, just buy the Dinobots. But you know what? I think he's worth every penny. And, no, get out of here. I think he's one of the best figures that Hasbro's made this year. That's saying a lot.
I'm blown away, Candy. Totally. Yeesh.
So that's my review of Rise of the Beast Studio Series, Scourge, and it is just dawning on me that after I finished recording, I forgot to show off the Sinks transformation. No, nobody will ever remember how to do this. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, just do... Yeah, something like that.